Welcome to A2 Economics. We are going to begin Module 1, and the topic for the Module 1 is economic efficiency. Let's begin the module with the description of economic efficiency. Economic efficiency refers to the best possible utilization of the resources to solve the problem of scarcity. Okay, remember the two dimensions of economic efficiency: optimal allocation or the best possible utilization of the resources to solve the problem of scarcity. There are three dimensions or three type of efficiency. The first one is associated with producing maximum output with minimum input, and when this happens, the average cost tends to significantly fall. This kind of efficiency is often called productive efficiency. And then we have the second kind of efficiency in which whatever the consumer want is produced. So if goods and service are made according to the consumer want, that is related to the second kind of efficiency, often called allocative efficiency. In efficiency, it is not just necessary that the goods and services that consumer wants are produced. It is also quite important that the correct quantity of the goods and services that consumer wants are produced. So whenever you talk about allocative efficiency, do note that it's not just about producing what consumers want, it's also about producing the correct quantity of goods that consumer want. And the third kind of efficiency is related with technological and process innovation. This is often called dynamic efficiency, and dynamic efficiency is related to long-term technological and process innovation, because of which the long-run average cost curve tends to fall. For example, this was your initial long-run average cost curve, but after a certain technological innovation, if your long-run average cost curve falls like this is the example of the dynamic efficiency. Again, to recap, there are three kinds of efficiency that we need to focus on. The first one is productive efficiency, the second one is allocative efficiency, and the third one is dynamic efficiency. So let's start with the definition of the productive efficiency. As highlighted before, productive efficiency is associated with producing maximum number of goods with minimum amount of input. And the minute this happens, your average cost tends to fall significantly, or you produce these goods and services at minimum cost. There are two ways in which we can depict or show productive efficiency. One of the easiest way to do it is through production possibility curve. So if this is your production possibility curve, and if you plot a point A exactly on the production possibility curve, this point A is going to be productively efficient, right? And the second way of doing that is through the average cost curve. So if you draw average cost curve like this, and if you draw the marginal cost, and we know that marginal cost curve cost the average cost at the minimum lowest possible point. So if the production happens at this point Q1, this is the example of the productive efficiency. Now let's recap what I have just stated. If you look at this production possibility curve, there are 3 points, point A, B, and C. Point A and B are on the production possibility curve, whereas point C is inside the production possibility curve. Since point A and B are on the production possibility curve, these points are productively efficient. So I'm going to call them productively efficient point. Whereas if you look at the point C, it is far inside the production possibility curve. So by definition, this point is going to be productively inefficient. Okay, now let's have a look at another diagram. Here SRAC represents the short run average cost curve. Short run average cost curve, and MC stands for the marginal cost. Okay, as I had previously stated, MC tends to cross SRAC at the minimum point, right? So if the production happens at this minimum point, let's call it B, then this would also be called productively efficient point. And similarly, the output Q1 at which this production happens is called productively efficient output. let's begin with allocative efficiency. Allocative efficiency is associated with producing correct good at the correct quantity. And the condition for allocative efficiency in economics is P equals to MC. Here P stands for price of a product, whereas MC stands for the marginal cost. The price is amount of money that consumers are willing to pay for this particular product, whereas marginal cost refers to the additional cost of making this product. Here price represents the consumer side of the equation, whereas marginal cost represents the producer side of the equation. So if in the market a condition is achieved in which P equals to MC, this means that the optimal allocation of the resource has taken place, that consumers are willing to pay the minimal possible amount that producers are willing to charge. So that means there is no overproduction or consumption, or there is no underproduction and underconsumption. The relationship of allocative efficiency can be represented in a simple demand and supply diagram. If you look at the diagram here, the supply curve here also represents the marginal cost or the additional cost of producing extra unit, whereas the demand curve here represents the marginal utility of producing that product. So let's go back to the price equals to MC equation again. Here marginal utility or the demand curve often represents the price the consumers are willing to pay. So the price can be replaced by the marginal utility here, and similarly marginal cost remains the same. So marginal utility can further be replaced by demand, as we have outlined here that demand equals to marginal utility, and similarly marginal cost can be replaced by supply. So in the simplest of sense, the market mechanism at which the demand equals to supply is often the allocatively efficient point, because this is the point at which the correct good is produced at the correct quantity and the correct price is charged. So these three dimensions are met. So if you look at this point A, this point A is allocatively efficient point, and if you look at this output 8, this is the allocatively efficient output. And if you look at this price 7, this price is the correct price or allocatively efficient price. Pareto optimality is also called Pareto efficiency in economics. Pareto efficiency is a condition in which it is impossible to make one party better without making somebody worse off. So Pareto optimality is a condition in production in which if we change the production equilibrium, one party would be better off as the result of somebody else being worse off. The condition of Pareto optimality can be easily presented in the production possibility curve. If you look at this PPC curve, we have 2 points here, point A and point B. At point A, it is possible to make 22 service and 15 goods. So let's assume that we switch to the production to point B now. At point B, we will be making 25 service, but then there are only 11 goods. So in order to increase the production of the service, we had to give up on the goods. So this is the condition of Pareto optimality. Pareto optimality in economics can be represented by the points on the outer curve of the production possibility curve. Now let's begin with the topic of dynamic efficiency. Dynamic efficiency is productive efficiency in the long run, and dynamic efficiency often happens if there is a technological or process innovation. So if a business develops a new technology because of which the average cost curve significantly falls down, then that is the example of dynamic efficiency. Dynamic efficiency happens when there is reduction in both short-run average cost curve as well as long-run average cost curve, and this relationship can be shown in this diagram here. If you look at the upper curve, this is the curve of long-run average cost curve but in 2008, but because of some technological innovation, the cost curve has now fallen down in 2010, And this is the example of dynamic efficiency.